Have you ever heard of a resistance leader who built an empire while fighting off a major European power for nearly 2 decades? Meet Samori Touré, one of West Africa's most brilliant and determined strategists. His story isn't just about resistance, it's a masterclass in military tactics, state building, and sheer willpower against overwhelming odds. Born around 1830 in what is now Guinea, Samori wasn't born into royalty. He started as a simple trader, but his life took a dramatic turn when his mother was captured in a raid. To free her, he joined the army of his mother's captors and quickly rose through the ranks, demonstrating exceptional military talent. After securing his mother's freedom, he didn't just go back to his old life. He decided to build his own army. This wasn't just any army. Samori Touré was a visionary. He created a highly professional, well-equipped force known as the Sofas. He understood the importance of modern weaponry and established workshops to manufacture and repair firearms, making his army a formidable power in the region. Using this military might, he began to unite various smaller states, creating the massive Wassoulou Empire by the 1870s. His empire stretched across parts of modern-day Guinea, Mali, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast. He wasn't just a conqueror, he was a skilled administrator, establishing a strong central government and promoting trade. But his rising empire soon collided with another expanding power of France. The French colonial machine was pushing inland from the coast, hungry for territory and resources. In 1882, the inevitable clash began. This wasn't a quick or easy fight for the French. They expected a swift victory, but they had severely underestimated Samori Touré. For the next 16 years, Samori waged a brilliant guerrilla war against the French. He knew he couldn't beat them in conventional, head-on battles, so he adapted. He used hit-and-run tactics, ambushes, and his deep knowledge of the terrain to outmaneuver the French forces time and time again. When the French advanced, he would retreat, employing a scorched earth policy, burning villages and crops to deny the enemy any supplies. This forced the French to stretch their supply lines thin, making them vulnerable. One of his most incredible strategies was the strategic relocation of his entire empire. When the French pressure became too intense in the west, he didn't surrender. Instead, he moved his people, his army, and his entire state apparatus eastward, carving out a new empire hundreds of miles away. Imagine the logistical genius required to move an entire nation while simultaneously fighting a war. He did this not once, but twice, successfully keeping his empire alive and his resistance going. His army was disciplined and loyal, inspired by his leadership and their shared Islamic faith. He was known as the Almami, a title for a religious and military leader. His resistance was so effective that the French were forced to sign treaties with him, acknowledging his authority, treaties they would later break. Despite his genius, the odds were ultimately insurmountable. The French had superior industrial resources, an endless supply of advanced weaponry, and the ability to cut off his trade routes for new guns and ammunition. In 1898, after years of relentless pursuit and a devastating famine that weakened his empire, Samori Touré was finally captured. The French, wary of his immense influence, exiled him to Gabon, far from his homeland. He died there in 1900. Though his empire fell, his legacy of resistance echoed throughout West Africa. Samori Touré wasn't just a warrior, he was an empire builder, a brilliant strategist, and a symbol of African defiance in the face of colonial conquest. His story reminds us that history is filled with incredible figures who fought for their people as freedom with ingenuity and courage. What do you think was his most brilliant move? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more hidden histories.